Well, they're here. There's the poor Targa conversion. Ay, ay, ay. It needs some help. This looks like a gardening supply. Let's see, we've got a wrong coil. We got a new rotor, a new cap. There's the tranny from straight from the Wizards, I guess. Aftermarket steering wheel. Brown, rusty top. Top looks like it may have been in a fire.
Well, we knew this parts car was going to be a big project to bring it from a Cabriolet back to a Targa. That was a fairly popular conversion back in the 80s, since no Cabriolet was even offered until 1983. But this car had been sitting for over 20 years. Had a lot of missing parts, broken parts, worn out parts, so there was lots of refurbishing to do. Here the pedal box you can see is completely oxidized and bushings are all broken up, and here's the peeking through the wheel at the parking brakes where there's absolutely no pad left on the brakes at all. It's metal to metal. The fuse box was broken up and missing wires. And then these USA Sugar Scoops headlights, they had to be upgraded. Somebody had run a screw through those. So we had to address most of the electrical system in the car, as it had just sat for too long for anything to work. But we also rebuilt the mechanical parts as well. We tried to keep with the rat rod theme and the patina look as we accumulated our new old stock parts or our used parts. Of course, that whale tail had to go to get back that smooth look of the 911 SC deck lid. And then along the way we updated the wheels, made them look a little cleaner. Heck, even Zane was getting into the act on this whole project. At some point, the engine was going to have to go back in so we could take this beauty on a test drive and shake down some of the issues it might have. Maiden voyage. First drive in the Cabriolet. It's running good. I think everybody was digging the Cabriolet. The car was getting more and more sorted. We were actually starting to enjoy it. But, of course, not everything worked. The next and biggest step was to build a jig so I could re-weld the structural part of the Targa bar back onto the chassis. Luckily, I have a 74 Targa sitting in a poorly lit storage barn that was relatively easy to use as a pattern. By the way, this is the second inner Targa structure I had to buy. Somehow Greyhound Bus Lines lost the first one, which led to me getting into a fight with two meth heads at a bus stop, and subsequently into a police report. But that's another story. Next, we had to transfer the jig to the Cabriolet chassis. And as you can see, this structure had already been cut twice, which made the job even more difficult. There was nothing to do except cut off the butchered bar and build back a new section. There's a cross section to see there. A little bit of grinding, and the structure was just about to be ready to put back onto the Cabriolet chassis, which took a little bit of prep work itself. Fabrication of the Targa structure was very time-consuming, but structurally it turned out well. There were lots of bends and welds, and the angle grinder and the MIG welder were getting quite the workout. Those bends and welds took a lot of work, but at least we didn't have any more of that oxidized bar left. A little more grinding, a little more MIG welder, the structure will be ready to fit back onto the chassis. That's a lot of weld. That's what it took to get the job done. Quick double check of our measurements, and we were ready for the rust proofing. Rust-Oleum is my choice. It was done. Well, sort of. A little more wiring, installation of a few interior Targa panels, to the glass shop and the installation of the Targa back glass. And it was going to be ready to rock and roll. And it's been a fun adventure with this rig. I think everything on here Turner and I have worked on. The wheels, oil plumbing, the paint, the blinkers. We upgraded the headlights to H4s. Fog lights work now.
We put missing bolts back in the suspension.
Put all the missing bolts back in the suspension. Changed all that. Put the sports seats back in it. It still has mismatched interior, but it's kind of the patina of the car. You know, the Targa band, I'm proud of the way the Targa band came out. Nice stainless look. I'm really pretty much proud of the whole thing, how it came back together. Proud of the engine. Check out those carburetors. It's really fun to drive without those filters on, Tyler. Take the filters off and enjoy the sound of the velocity stacks if it's not a dry, dusty day. Still a little gold peeking through there. We gave Tyler a custom license plate. Thought he'd like that. We've, of course, got the stainless bar back on, but a little sticker here.
So Leonard,
Hello.
on a few of these flybys here, I hear some after fires. What's causing that?
A little bit of unburnt gas getting back through the car. It's got some of it, a few carbs might be lean. Some of them might be a little rich. When you give it the gas, man, it goes, but it probably has a little bit of unburnt gas getting through into the muffler and popping.
So this is something we can adjust, right?
I mean, do you want to? Don't you like the popping sound? You know, as you shower down on the gas like this. If you want maximum gas flowing through all 6 of these carburetors, you might put up with a little bit of backfiring, you know, and then one of the cylinders might be lean. I hear a lean misfire, it seems, in there, so I'll get home and I'll tune that one more time now that we're nice and warm, so they all sound like a harmonious symphony, like this. Brake.